Hello everyone. So this is Gaurav back again. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So this is the third video of RegEx series. I hope that you have seen the first two videos. Those are Introduction to Regular Expression Part 1 and Part 2. If not, then first go watch those videos, then come back to this video, because that is where you will going to get motivation in order to start learning regular expression. Okay, so enough of introduction, right? Now it's time to do some hands-on. So in few upcoming videos, including this video, I'm going to talk about only basic set. I will show you with a number of examples like how to write a regular expression with the character those are available in basic set. This video is going to be very interesting. So this video is all about regular expression, the basic set part 1. Now without wasting any further time, let's get started. Well, so we are done with the introduction part of regular expressions, right? I hope that all of you have understood all the concepts. If somehow anybody has missed out any session, then I'll give you a link in the description below. Just go and have a watch. Alright, so finally from this video we are going to start some hands-on. I have divided the basic set of regular expressions into few parts. In this video I'm going to talk about only part 1. Now before going to see today's agenda, let's recap few things which we have learned in the previous session. Earlier I have told you like all RegEx engines are following some standard called Posix Standard, right? It's Portable Operating System Interface for Unix. It's an IEEE standard, and according to this standard it's divided into two sets. One is basic set, another one is extended set. Okay, in few upcoming videos including this video I am going to talk about only basic set. Now basic set basically comes with a set of symbols, that those are nothing but character, and each one having a specific meaning and interpretation. Now let's see what are the symbols those are available in basic set. So you can see here, right, I'm not going to discuss everything in details right now. I'm just going to give you an idea, just an overview. You can see in the left side we have all the symbol. According to the Posix standard, in basic set we have this number of symbol. So every symbol is having some meaning and interpretation. So what I'll do, I will take all the symbol one by one, and with an example I'll tell you like what does it represent and how to write a regular expression with those symbol. Now let's see finally today's agenda. So today you are going to learn about the first symbol, that is asterisk in basic set. We will see with the help of one example like what does it represent and how to use it in order to write a regular expression. Well, before going to do some hands-on, we have to have some kind of platforms, right? Without that it's not possible. So initially I thought like I'll be using Linux RegEx engine, because it is quite easy for me to show you. Then I have decided like it may happen like most of you may not have Linux, right? You might be using Windows. But in Windows you can have Linux as well without installing Linux separately, either using something like AWS or some virtual box or VMware. But right now I'm not going to talk about all these things. If you want me to tell you like how to do it, you can write that in comment section so that I can make a separate video for that. So for those who don't have Linux, they can use something called regex101.com. It's a very powerful website where you can write your regex pattern. You can test it as well on a number of datasets with a different regex engine like Python, JavaScript, etc. So all the example that I will do, including this video and all the upcoming videos, I'll be using both the platforms together so that anyone can follow it. So before going to use your regex expression, you have to verify it from somewhere, right? like whether it is working as expected or not. So that is where I'll highly recommend you, like you can use regex101.com. That is where you can verify your regex pattern very easily on a number of dataset. Okay, I'll show you within few minutes. Now let's see today's first example. Well, so here is the first example, and in this example I'll be talking about the first symbol of basic set, that is asterisk. Okay, so before that, guys, do you remember the last time in the last video I told you about 4 steps, right? I also told you like whatever the example that I'm going to follow, either from basic set or from extended set, I'll be using those 4 steps only. Okay, so now let's recap it very quick. Step 1 is understanding the requirement, like what data need to be included and what data need to be excluded, right? And before that, one input dataset will be provided to you. And step 2 is identify the pattern, either from inclusion list or from exclusion list. Step 3 is represent the pattern using regex. And step 4 is you have to use some kind of regex engine and you have to apply that pattern on the input dataset, and then you will get desired output. Okay, now let's have some input dataset. That is step 1, and then we have to understand the requirement. So as you can see over here, the strings are having green tick on the left are the string that you want to include, and the string are having red cross on the left are the string that you want to exclude, right? So we have understood the requirement, like what data we need to be included and what data we need to be excluded. So we need to include this one, this one, this one and this one, this 4 string. Okay, so I can say like step 1 is done, right? What about step 2? In step 2 it is written like you have to identify some kind of pattern, either from inclusion list or from exclusion list. Inclusion list means the string that you want to include, and exclusion list means the string that you want to exclude. Okay, so now let's observe it very carefully. Okay, so I can see the strings that I want to include, like the string those are having green tick on the left, are started with something called moo, that is mo. You can see it is common for every string, mo. But wait, it's not the pattern, right? Because the string those are having red cross on the left are also started with moo, that is mo. Okay, now let's look at the second one. That is the string those are having green tick on the left are ended with something called nar, N-A-R, right? Nar. But again, it is not the pattern, because here also it is ended with nar, right? For the string those are having red cross on the left are also ended with nar. So this is not a pattern. Now let's look at the character which are there in between mo and nar. So you can see here we have single a, here we have triple a, here we have nothing, here we have double a. Okay, so can I say like in between mo and nar we have 0 or more occurrence of character a? Can I say that? Yes. Whereas the string those are having red cross on the left are having x in between. You can see x in between. But here in this case, like the number of occurrence, it is unpredictable, like we cannot predict it. But the character is predictable, and here it is a, right? So how many times it is occurring, it is unpredictable, but what character is occurring, it's predictable. So now we are done with our pattern. That is step 2. Now let's see our pattern. So according to the inclusion list, you can see according to inclusion list, the string that I want to include, the strings are started with mo and ended with nar. Okay, In between these two, we have 0 or multiple occurrence of character A. Here you can see single occurrence, here 3 occurrence, here nothing, means 0 occurrence, here 2 occurrence. So step 2 is done. Based on the requirement, we came up with some pattern, right? Now let's look at the symbol asterisk. Like, what does it represent? Okay, so basically asterisk mean 0 or more occurrence of the character that precedes this asterisk. Means whatever the character that precedes this asterisk may have 0 or more occurrence. Then what do we mean by A star? A star means I can say 0 or more occurrence of A. So here you can see 0 or more occurrence. This part is fixed and this part is also fixed. This part is unpredictable and dynamic. So that is where we will use this asterisk symbol in order to get my first regular expression. Third step, represent the pattern using regex. Now we got some symbol, right? Now we can represent this pattern using regex. So that is the third step. One more thing, like there should not be any gap in between, but just I have provided here line so that you can understand it very clearly. Now the final regex pattern, that is mo, it is fixed, then A star means 0 or multiple occurrence of A, then nar. Now the last step is remaining, that is step 4. So here we have to use some kind of regex engine in order to apply this pattern on the given input dataset so as to get the data that you want to include, or I can say desired output. Now let's see that first. So first I'll be using Linux regex engine, then I'll be using regex101.com. Now let's see that. Okay, so right now I'm in Linux terminal, as you can see over here. So I have stored my input dataset in a file named input1.txt. So here you can see, right? Now earlier I told you that I'm going to use Linux regex engine, and for that I'll be using a command called grep command. I have to write grep. After that, within single quote, I'll write the pattern, that is mo a asterisk nar, right? Then space, then I'll just mention my input file name, that is, yeah. So now click on enter. So now we can see like we are getting only 4th string, right? The string that we wanted to include. Excellent, that's mean it is working. Means my regex pattern is working on this input dataset with the help of Linux regex engine. Now if you don't have Linux, no problem. For you I will use regex101.com. Now let's see that. So as you can see right now I'm in browser. Let's write regex101, press enter, click on the first link. Yeah, here it is. Now here you can see I can switch to my different regex engine. So I'll be using JavaScript engine. You can use other engine as well, but the basic will be same. Here we can write our pattern, and here we can write our input dataset. Here it will show like whether it is matching or not. Now let's copy the input dataset over here. After that we will apply our regex pattern here, and then we will see according to this regex pattern what are the string those are matching. So now we can see I have copied my input dataset, right? Now let me write the pattern over here, and the pattern will be mo, then a asterisk, then nar. Okay, so here you can see there are 4 matches, this one, this one, and this one, and this one. So that's when it is also working fine. So according to this pattern, only these 4 strings are valid and others are invalid. So I hope that all of you can follow this. Well, so far we have seen how to get a desired output from an input dataset based on the regular expression. Okay, so This is a very simple expression. You will be writing much more complex than this. So before that, you have to know all the symbols, right? Like their meaning and their interpretation and how to use them on a given input dataset. Okay, so that's all for this video. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Now if you have any questions, any queries anywhere in this video, please let me know by giving a comment in the comment section. I'll surely give you reply on that. Now slowly, this is how you will learn about all the regex symbols with examples, and I can guarantee that at the end you can write a very complex regular expression by own. So thanks for watching. See you on the next video. For now, take care. Tata. Bye bye.